Vince. Well, J.C. Tran, about a 3-to-1 favorite, not quite a 3-to-1 favorite to win this pot, but in great shape. Just a moment ago, J.C. Tran down to 300,000, and look at this flop, 10-10-4.
I got 2 hearts.
With 4 hearts for J.C. Tran.
Yeah.
So what that means is, even if the 7 of hearts comes up, the fish would lose this pot because J.C. Tran would make a flush. So right now, to win the pot, Nemo needs a 7 that's not a heart. He would tie the pot if a 4 came up.
Here comes the turn card. It's a jack of spades.
Well, again, if the jack of hearts comes up, he will lose the pot. An offsuit jack would give him a split as well as a 4. He needs a 7 that's not a heart to win the pot and stay alive in the tournament.
Otherwise, Nemo is going to be dead fish floating. River card coming up. Here it is.
Well, that's a deuce of clubs.
He didn't do it.
So Nemo out in 6th place.
Nemo, otherwise known as Per Uma. J.C. Tran making sushi out of him.
J.C. Tran came to this table as chip leader. He went down to about 400,000. He's built his chips back up where he's the big chip leader again.
Yes, and a very stunned Nemo goes up to talk to Courtney.
Well, you still won $200,000. You happy about that?
Yeah, I'm always happy about the money, of course, and it was good. And now the people like my new nickname, and it seems like Nemo will come back.
Nemo very graciously says goodbye. We are down to 5 players at the LA Poker Classic. Winner's going to take home $2.4 million. Stay with us. We're coming right back with more on the World Poker Tour.
Welcome back to the Commerce Casino and the LA Poker Classic. I'm Courtney Friel, and here's what's happened so far in the race for $2.4 million.
LA may be the city of dreams, but this competition has been a nightmare for Swedish player Nemo, whose early lead turned to dust thanks to the 1-2 punch of Sacramento legend J.C. Tran. WPT world champion Alan Gehring has been playing any 2 cards and hitting highs and lows against former dealer Daniel Quach. With 5 players left and $2.4 million for first, the fight for this title is just heating up.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. We have 5 players left, and one of these guys is going to take home the largest regular season first prize in the history of the World Poker Tour, a whopping $2.4 million.
Well, this is one of the biggest prize pools in the history of poker. Altogether, we're talking about a close to $7 million prize pool, and we are down to 5 right now. Action on Michael Wu. He's got the Doyle Brunson hand, 10 deuce offsuit, throws it away.
Alan quickly lays his hand down.
Now around to Daniel Quach with the button. He's got ace deuce of clubs.
Well, he's got ace high. He's on the button. He's in position, but remember, blinds are 1 in 200,000 right now. That is huge.
Fine.
And it's going to be a $500,000 bet.
Nice stiff raise into Steve. He goes out with 9-3, and now J.C. Tran in the big blind. He's got a big hand, ace jack of hearts.
Well, he sure does have a big hand, Vince. It's a dominating hand also, but he doesn't know that. But let's see what he's going to do with it. You know, one of his problems here is that he's out of position and that he's going up against the guy who's in second chip position to him right now. He's just going to make the call here, takes a conservative route, calls the $500,000. Here comes the flop. Well, flop is queen 8-3. No help to either player. Action's on JC, and he checks.
Now it's on the razor before the flop. Daniel Quach hitting nothing on the flop.
Well, Vince, there's $1.2 million out there, and Daniel's going to take a stab at it.
Yes, he is.
He's not going to leave his children on the street, as Doyle Brunson says players like to do. He's going after them.
That's a $500,000. Well, he raised before the flop. He keeps it going, even though he didn't hit anything on that flop. And because the WPT whole cam brought to you by Budweiser, we see that J.C. Tran has the better hand, ace jack of clubs. But how do you call this $500,000?
Well, Vince, his problem is he didn't take the lead on this hand.
Yeah.
He didn't raise before the flop. He didn't bet on the flop. Now his opponent's bet, and now he's up to a strict guess as if he is the best hand or not. Do you want to jeopardize your chips with just ace high here? You don't know what the guy's got. Well, JC is going to lay it down.
Yep.
So once again, this hand illustrates the importance of taking the lead when you're playing No Limit Hold'em. In other words, you being the person to be the aggressor in the pot. You're the one doing the betting. You win more pots than not by doing that. In this case, we saw Daniel Quach win the pot because he raised before the flop. He bet on the flop. He took it down. Daniel, with that pot, takes the lead here. He's now got over 4.4 million in chips.
All right, back to the table on Alan Gehring. Takes a look at 9-5, goes out.
Over to Daniel. Going to fold his hand and stack his chips.
Now Steve Simmons, who's been very quiet. He goes out. And this is going to open it up for Jesus Tran, who has a pair of sevens.
He's going to raise it, makes it 600,000 to go. And look at this, Vince. Michael Wu has picked up a pair of nines. This is the situation he's been dreaming about at this final table. Now let's see if he can pull the trigger.
I'm all in.
Oh, there he goes.
Well, you're not going to throw away 2 nines against the other blind, I can tell you that.
Jesus Tran just stepping in it right now.
Vince is going to cost him a little over 1.3 million more to make this call. I think he's going to have a tough laydown to make here. I know Michael Wu's a very tight conservative player.
Michael Wu being a tight player is an understatement. The guy hasn't played a hand since Happy Days went off the air.
Well, he hadn't had any cards. He's up against aggressive players at the table. But right now, he's got a great shot to double up if Jesus Tran makes this call.
Michael looking back at his family and friends.
Well, he gave him the sign, Vince. He held up 3 fingers. That's a W for the Wu man.
Jesus Tran in a quagmire here.
Call.
He's going to make a call.
Jesus Tran has made the call, and Michael is going to love it. Look at him.
Oh.
You see him excited. You can't get your money in any better than this in No Limit Hold'em, where you've got pair over pair.
He is in a dominating position. A joyful moment for Michael Wu.
He's a big favorite to win this pot. At least 4-1 to do so. Got a chance to double up.
Hey, good luck, man.
You can't really fault Jesus Tran for playing there, Vince. Michael Wu could easily made that play with ace-jack, ace-10, or ace-9. Under the circumstances, though, Jesus Tran is up against it. Here comes the flop. Great flop for Michael Wu. It's come 10-10-8. So both players have 2 pair. Michael Wu, of course, has the overpair and is in phenomenal shape here to win this pot. The only way Jesus Tran can win this pot is to catch a 7. And now that won't even help him. It is over. Michael Wu is going to double up here. He's got 10s full of 9s.
It's over.
There's no card JC can catch where he can win this pot. How sweet it is.
That's icing on the cake. You don't even have to sweat the last card.
Boy. Michael Wu winning nearly a $4 million pot.
Do not count out Wu. He is back. Stay tuned. We're coming right back in just a moment from the LA Poker Classic.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. You're watching the LA Poker Classic. And Michael Wu just doubled up and nearly has the chip lead now, Vince.
Former VP of Cosmetics, making it happen here tonight. Action's going to be on Steve Simmons right now. He goes out, JC out. Wu with a button, 9 deuce.
Now Michael going back into his conservative mode.
And now Alan Gehring in the small blind with the 6-3 of hearts says, I call it.
Not going to give a blind up if he doesn't have to.
Daniel Quach behind him with King 5 has an option.
And now he wants to see Alan stack of chips. Now he checks it, so we are going to have a flop here. Well, flop is King 9 deuce. Nice flop for Daniel here. He's flopped top pair. Alan Gehring with 6 high is betting, Vince.
I'm all in.
All in goes Daniel over the top.
With the top pair, he's got the 2 kings.
And there's no acting done by Alan. He quickly lays down his hand. Tried to pickpocket him. Didn't work that time. But God, you got to respect the man's goal.
Doesn't matter his chip stack. He doesn't vary his style of play. He stays aggressive. He goes after pot after pot.
This is something you just can't teach, the way Alan Gehring plays. Got to be born with that. All right, action's going to be on our man Alan Gehring. He's got a quality hand, pair of jacks wired up.
I'm all in 480.
He's going all in with it.
Yep.
480.
He's betting everything.
480,000.
Daniel Quach behind him with 8-5 goes out. Steve Simmons out. JC Tran with King 3 out.
We're around to Michael Wu now. Now he's got 200,000 in the big blind.
How much more?
Going to cost him a few more 100,000 to call, but about $1 million in the pot. but he is not going to like it when he sees what he's up against. The very worst hand he could be up against.
Man!
His opponent's got 2 jacks. He's got jack 6 offsuit. So right now, Alan Gehring, slightly over a 90% favorite to win this pot and to double up and stay alive in this competition.
Here comes the flop. It's a king-king-queen.
It's actually a good flop for Michael because a queen would get him a split out of this pot now.
That's true.
So he has 3 outs to get a tie out of this pot. It's going to have to come running 6-6 for him to win it.
Well, an 8 comes off there.
A queen would tie it where he'd split the pot with Michael Wu. And believe me, that's what the Wu man is looking for right now. A lovely lady. Well, if jack comes off. Alan Gehring makes jacks full of kings. He's going to take this pot down. And like John Travolta, Vince, he's staying alive.
Well, he's always great to watch. Very sneaky. The brilliant poker savant with his chance at a second WPT title here tonight. And right now the action is going to be on Steve Simmons.
Steve folds.
And oh, look at J.C. Tran has picked up the Godzillas, the pair of aces.
Can you believe it? He is loving this right now.
And he goes up to $600,000 with it. Michael Wu going out.
I'm all in.
And Alan Gehring, look at this, with a pair of 5s, has gone over the top all in.
That's music to J.C. Tran's ears, I can tell you that.
Daniel lays down his 8 deuce, so back on J.C. and yes.
So Alan Gehring moving all in with the 2 5s, the speed limit hand. And believe me, Vince, he is speeding badly right now. And J.C. Tran just put the badge on him.
I have you covered, buddy.
Alan Gehring made a stab at it, had the small pair, was hoping they were either good or that JC would throw his hand away, but unfortunately for Alan, he's ran into a brick wall, Vince. JC Tran with the 2 aces.
I have 5,000 more than him.
Because you have a...
Yeah, I know, but how do I
We're talking about one of the largest prize pools in the history of poker, bar none. 2.4 is going to go to the winner, and this kind of pot is going to dictate who's going to take it.
Well, both players anxiously awaiting the flop here. Oh, the flop comes 9-7 deuce, all spades.
Oh, that is great for J.C. Tran.
He's got 1 out.
You talk about climbing Pikes Peak right now. That's what Alan Gehring is trying to do. And do it barefoot.
Well, he is a big long shot. 2 cards to come.
But he is like the last drop of water in the tub with the plug out, Vince. He is going down the drain. Well, a deuce comes out.
I gave him another out. I gave him 1 more out.
He needs the extreme miracle. Alan Gehring on the respirator right now. He is circling the drain. Can he outdraw J.C.?
Oh! Wow! Can you believe it? Look at Alan Gehring. Unbelievable. No! Can you believe that? On the river to win this pot.
Alan Gehring sucking out on the river.
Now, I know everybody watching this show says, oh, well, I get aces cracked. Well, it may happen in your little home game, but we're at a final table on the World Poker Tour, and we're talking about literally a $2 million difference in the next guy that goes out and the guy that wins the tournament. And unfortunately for J.C. Tran, he is going to be out in 5th place.
He ran out of the arena into the darkness of the Commerce Casino. There he is. He's pacing in the... this is just one of the most devastating hits ever for the river card on the WPT.
Well, they're counting the chips up to make sure Alan Gehring has more chips than JC. They had pretty much equal chips. And even if JC's got any left, Vince, I'm not sure he can even put an ante in the next hand.
He has 1,420. Have him covered by 5,000.
Does he have me covered?
Well, it turns out Alan does have him by a chip or 2. So that's going to do it for J.C. Tran. And what a way to go out, get all your money in with 2 aces before the flop, and get him cracked. And Vince, look, I've never seen anyone look so sad on the World Poker Tour leaving the arena than J.C. Tran right now.
He's going to go up and talk to Courtney. We got to take a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back on the LA Poker Classic. We'll be hearing what J.C. has to say in just a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to the LA Poker Classic. I'm Vince Van Patten alongside Mike Sexton.
Vance, it was brutal what happened to J.C. Tran. On 2 occasions he ran into, he said the final table lost big pots. He finally got him in a monster pot where he's going to be the big chip leader. He got him cracked.